Okay, so today's a Charlotte-specific video. We'll be talking about a little thing called Roads First, which is a proposal that basically wants to orient the city budget around a mostly roads-based transportation program. Now, this is not roads only. It's important to understand that this is for the most part a marketing thing in order to convince state leadership that Charlotte isn't blowing money on projects that it doesn't necessarily approve of. I disagree with the priorities of the State House, but they are what they are, but they can be fixed. Some of the not so talked about elements of Roads First are that it's going to include more cameras for police officers, presumably automated and data-driven enforcement. These are big things because traffic fatalities are a problem here in Charlotte. But it's also going to include funding for bike lanes and bus rapid transit. These are things that are considered to be within the whole Roads First framework. So for someone like me who really likes public transportation, and yes, I do have a bias toward trains, but there's still a lot here to look forward to and be excited about. So does that mean that I'm a Roads First convertee? No. I'm going to counter with this. Right now I'm walking to the Blue Line in order to get to work. When I get there, I'm going to go into an office that has a lot of colleagues who come from the North Neck towns, who essentially have been forced to coming back into the office due to my company's policies. Policies that I agree with, by the way. I think the return to office isn't that good. But I understand why they would tell me they wouldn't come to the office very often. It's because they didn't want to fight traffic and didn't want to deal with parking. I don't want to do those things either. That's why I use the Blue Line. There is a proposal on the table, has been for many years, and it's currently moving ahead because Norfolk Southern appears to want to play ball. It's for a thing called the Red Line. If we get the Red Line, the right-of-way exists. We just need to put stations on it. And it will reach up to, I believe, all the way up to Lake Norman. That is a slam dunk for Charlotte. It's something that would get a lot of people off of the freeways, get them back into Uptown, frankly, to help to deal with the Uptown vacancy crisis, which is important because that's the core of our city's property tax base. And essentially supercharge Uptown and everywhere along the line. So my answer to Roads First is Red Line first. Let's get that thing built. Let's give that thing the resources it needs. Let's get it done. And let's get it done sooner rather than later, because the Uptown office vacancy problem is something that's going to cause issues unless we can come up with an immediate replacement for those property tax revenues, which we don't have. So that's my reply to Roads First. Thanks, and see you next time.